All right, I will share my mama by Mra Odia Sampati. Muson for Odia Sampati. Trade up by be a pioneer, me and share with them. Did this out 1 year, son of Mr. Mother Romantic, me hoarding. Obsians are ready. O share near Manison AC Corner, MPP and DC no. Ya can, but there be a Macassa, my brother, giving up on any option, and mammy. Into now, say a cost a bodel will send a bear, Ghana Mabunu, or my drain, and no money ever born also. Na edrum rebi na sa o kasa o social media dia obefi se o bibia eye simple sa but se me amete anu abre na bibia me ka cho se wo a wadi machi ahwe ache o hwe the way ana Nana Kwame Bediako campaign kura na misi eginam me kasa o social media na afi so me kọ mountain so ene nkofo e kasa no na still se okọ abonten na one nkofo e kasa titiru ye mabunu na you get to know say we have a long way to go into way e call for say obi ti say Nana Kwame Bediako Kofi koranteng. I think say these are the key people you hu say ye wo potential bi e wo mumu a on betumi aboa na ama oman no atumi afa ne tomapa e de afra e koba ne say ye youth ni bi so na omani abie no kakra ewo ho na omo no one of the people omo feel say we dey enya possible inti omo hope only omo dream enyina ne say me programs and meeting na me dey ma ono omo hope omo dreams enyina ne say o se ye nya soldier ni bia obetumi aba ye ku ti say ne Ibrahim Tuari in fact on dem boni di on se mpejam mu ohene kase onye politician or your hene ankasa we mu na from ahemfo eye no Burkina Faso no eye no sana Ghana mabunu binu a omani abie no efi se yenya nke beboa but oman na ye timu no me misuro ema se soja ni bi eyi ni ti a wanhwe a na nkoye te se Burkina die a obi ahu anka no and enokra na ye ka obi ahu anka na because of foreign influence inti moja a ehwegu ye no na anya adepa inti obi te se Nana Kwame Bediako eye Kofi koranteng anka for now no ombeka omo abom de bia meka se Ghana ade ye hia ni titiru eye education and with this form of education no o the far political side a baby bi e wo ho nti e wo say ye start na nka ye liberate ye youth no any even man me for na adwen e wo niam bi ho because obi o cry kwan of us to aba onte ase ebusia ibedi no ho nkombo actually na sabre am na wo e ka say Kofi koranteng e grant interview e wo yenua ye friend sen kra tuntum network eso na obi eba so na o hire say Ghana youth no na enye problem no but the problem is say ye hia leader me no dey obi say me make sure say Ghana youth we are the biggest problem for our own na problem ni na so every religious leaders no eba ne say yenuanom nkramufo yenuanom akristofo na efe so wo ba ya kasa ya konfo ni yedunsifo ni ebimumu a ye tu futuro edugu nipa ni ani emma nipa ni entumi enyu so critical thinking na akoye bebi a ewo ho na Kofi koranteng enso ebe kire niam ahodo bebre a even na all praising Nana Kwame Bediako all share say ya kasa youth no na ye ho problem which is say no kre na even a vibrant person like Nana Kwame Bediako any on one kasa Kofi koranteng with good ideas and good knowledge anka ebetumi ama oman Ghana enya the revolution airpe no but we choose say ebekọ akodi MPP ni NDC echi in fact odi nkomo ahodo bebre ebehia ma afata say meme ni umienu ene obabunu bi a ohwe video we no ebehwe na wo hwe wi a wo nda so wo be share ama unuam bi na ye hina ya tena ase adwendwen sa ensem we eho medical catch us sisi ano we are almost done with our setup ye be call live program ye be invite Kofi koranteng Nana Kwame Bediako opportunities uba mu a ye be invite omo and they say we video call ni ade a ye no me ko so edi enkomo I will hand it best say ube stay tuned. So when you subscribe to channel so subscribe na share na like it. Free natural wide so our comment section no as a one. Me no ka say bia na o ye be ma sem enko yie oba wo ho dare ne how diabetes, asthma and also hepatitis B and e how so a. Ensuro emfere so we fa number no a egu ase on 054 3304976. Ofre odi asampa spiritual and herbal center. Ya odasani bia ho adaje e benya abotre ati o ne ya che okwan e fa so a e bebo ama ho ato. Yenko enkotie Kofi koranteng ensem a ode to edua no embra.
Kofi, listen. You see, I know a lot of you are saying the youth is the problem. Kofi, the youth is not the problem. The youth need leadership. Okay, the youth are looking to you people like you yourself, Cheddar, new people with new ideas, and they need you people to come together to lead them. But at the moment, what you see, you are all fractured, and that is not helping the youth. Because look at what happened. Gearing towards this election, the youth were fighting themselves. The youth were fighting themselves. They were all over. I sat down and I was sad. I look at what they were doing at TikTok. They were fighting themselves because we have factions. But when you come together, okay, and you give the youth leadership, then they will follow. Because at the moment, yes, NDC MPP have captured the nation. And until you guys form political structures and then build up bases in communities, in constituents, and look for potential leaders to lead these communities and talk to them, you can come on air, you can go everywhere and tour the whole Ghana and just make noise and leave. Once you leave in Ghana, I told Cyrus something. Whatever you tell a Ghanaian, okay, most of them, it goes to the left ear and come out of the right ear until somebody is there to hammer it and hammer it and hammer it into their heads. You see, the NDC, the MPP has been smart. They've done this for years. They've hammered their stories and their history into their people's head. Now people go and vote for MPP, NDC without even knowing their policies. And people who have voted don't even know what. I was in Ghana for 3 months. I was going around and I was asking people, why do you want to vote for Baumia? They'll tell you because he says it's possible. What is possible? They don't know what is possible. Ask that person to tell you one policy of MPP. He doesn't know. People were going to vote for NDC. Ask them, why are you going to vote for NDC? He doesn't know. Because Muhammad said 24-hour economy. What is 24-hour economy? He doesn't know. Ghanaians don't vote based on policies and on what you know. You need to make yourself available. If you guys want to lead, then you have to be aggressive. You need to start to form political structures and let's build the base, build the structures. Okay, you see, politics is like a Christmas tree. You need to build the base and build, and then you put the cherry on the top or the star on the top. But if you don't build, we are not going to go anywhere. We can sit on air and make noise and go about and do whatever we want to do until we build political structures and we merge ourselves together and put our forces together. We are not going anywhere. Kofi, that is my idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Kofi, you have the floor.
All right, Cyrus, my big man, you're looking good. 2025 is done good for you, man.
I shaved my beard, Kofi. I shaved off the beard.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
I want to look young.
So listen.
All right.
You don't need any effort on that. You're looking really good. So keep at it. Whatever you're doing, it's working. But Cyrus,
Sure.
what I'm gonna say is gonna ruffle feathers, and I need people to be really elevated in thinking because it's a multifaceted answer. And if you're not really very conscious, you will not understand. And I think for the most part, a lot of people in Ghana really don't even understand our problem. That's why people come up and they are outlandish in their remarks. I listen to people. A lot of people are really very ignorant about our situation. I'm being very honest. And that's not demeaning, that's a fact. You see, when somebody makes a statement, and this is not going at anyone, someone makes a statement, oh, Kofi, the youth needs leadership. It's not a youth problem. Let me give you the numbers so you can really understand. In the last election, we had the youngest candidate in Nana Bediako. We had a candidate who spent between 35 to 50 million. We had a candidate who had the best policies, the most ruthless of approaches, who was and came out with the absolute best formula to fix Ghana. And the youth did not budge. Nana Bediako got less than a percentage point. I got less than a percentage point, and it didn't make a difference to the youth. The youth did not budge. What that is telling me is the youth, if you're the youngest candidate, if you spend the most amount of money, if you have the best policies, it will not make a difference as far as the youth's perspective. It will not make a difference, okay? And that's a problem. The youth does not want that. That's not what the youth is looking for. So what is the youth looking for? I don't know. But now let me tell you what can make a difference. What could make a difference is if the youth, and this is why I say the youth is the problem, if the youth will come together and the youth will form a block, what I always talk about, and the youth will say, okay, let's all come together, 3 million, 4 million of us. Cyrus is our leader. He has a leadership team, he has an executive, he has a mastermind. The mastermind of the youth comes together and says, these are the 10 things we need. This is the criteria we have formed that the next leader of Ghana ought to have these 10 things. Let's go out and look for these things in a leader that we want. And then put our 4 million, 5 million block behind that person. Then all of a sudden, a leader, whether they like it or not, erects himself. And they present themselves to the youth that, okay, I wasn't exactly like that, but if this is what you like, that I will be that so that I could get your vote. This is how power gets entrenched in the people.
Kofi, can I come in?
Hold 1 second. You cannot sit down and say, oh, we need for all the independent candidates to come together and form an alliance. It will never work, because this is what you need to understand about the human psychology. Every leader who has built themselves thinks that they are the best. If you understand how psychology works, you know that in the leader's own mind, they think that they are the best, and they are right in thinking that. But this thinking that you are the best does not mean you could solve the problem of the people. It has to be from the perspective of the people. Who represents the people? The people who represents the people or makes the best cross-section of the people is the youth. So they are in the best position to pick the leader that they want, because it's their aspirations that needs to be met. They're the ones who are controlling the labor market of the whole world right now, the African youth. So if they cannot come together to formulate a leadership structure to pick the leader that they see in the future, a leader cannot form itself. Now, another thing. A lot of
Kofi, can I come in before you go on to the another thing? Kofi, can I come in, please? Before you go to the other thing.
Go ahead.
Thank you for sharing this with us. But I have to
be honest.
I'm not done.
So
no, with the first part you just shared with us, I'm really happy you shared it, but I honestly don't agree with you.
Okay.
I have to be frank with you.
Okay.
You know, when you talk about leadership with the youth, I don't believe the fact that the youth themselves will come together and then the youth themselves will have somebody emerge out of them, and then the person will fit into the kind of person the youth wants to lead, and then that will be how the leadership structure. No, I don't believe in that. What I think can happen, which I didn't see happen, is this. When you want to lead this youth, which we can have anybody who has ideas to lead them, you have to demonstrate to these youth on a level they can understand that you are different, and you are somebody they can trust and follow you. Let me give you an example. There are MPs in this country, members of parliament in this country, who became popular by way of being a movie actor and by way of being a farmer. So he is relatable with the people, whether being an actor or being a farmer. So at whatever level, he's able to relate with somebody. So when such a person says, I want to lead you people, then people find it easy to say, all right, yeah, you lead, you go ahead. When I look at all these candidates we had, Kofi Koranteng, Cheddar, we don't actually see where the people relate with you guys. And I'm being honest with you. If not last year, the only time I would have seen Kofi Koranteng was on Onuya TV with Captain Smart. Apart from seeing Kofi Koranteng on Onuya TV with Captain Smart, I never heard of Kofi Koranteng, and I would have never seen Kofi Koranteng. So if you ask me to follow such a person, I really don't have anything to hold on to or to look up to and say, okay, I can relate with this guy on this level, and I know he's for the youth, so I can follow him. If we can have one of you guys be in an industry, whether in agriculture, whether in a constituency, whatever the case may be, where the people who work with you or the people who work for you know you on that level and say, no, we even want this man to be an MP. We even want this man to run for this office. At that point, you are relatable, Kofi. As it stands now, if this same practice continues and Cheddar continues to be Cheddar and live that kind of lifestyle, and we see him on TV doing big things for himself and riding in big cars, and we see Kofi Koranteng on social media and television, and we don't get to meet you on any level that we can relate with, I can promise you this. When we go into the next election, no matter how solid your policies may be, we don't know you. The people wouldn't know you. So I don't believe the people will have to come together themselves. There is no point where the people themselves will want to come together. Somebody must ignite that movement. Somebody must wake up and say, listen, it doesn't have to be so many people. It starts so small, maybe 20 people in a community. And they say, listen, let's try to do this. Let's make some noise on this issue. And then the person starts making noise on that issue. And then from there, it starts to grow. Those are things people can relate with. And people come in, they join that group because friends are involved. And so this guy has friends, this guy has friends, friends knows friends in that group, and it continues to expand. But if we have to wait for the youth themselves to put themselves together and not somebody leading them and showing up on the stage and galvanizing all of them around him, Kofi, this your methodology, I suspect, will take a very long time. And it may never happen in Ghana. Michael Dawson, before you come in, please hold on. Mike, I will let you come in. But before you hold on, I want Kofi to respond to this, and then I'll come back to you. Please bear with me. Thank you so much. Kofi, back to you.
Yes, Cyrus, a couple of things. You hit on a couple of things that I want to address. First of all, you see, this is the typical African way of thinking, and it doesn't work. A typical black mind way of thinking. And let me tell you why it doesn't work. Because we have seen the result of what you are saying. The people who came and showed us the farms and showed us their accolades and what they had done, what have they been able to do in the 68 years of Ghana? Tell me. We've gone backwards. So that doesn't mean anything. In the world we live in today, and this is why I go to the youth. You see, if I come in today and I wanted to build a supercomputer that NVIDIA has put out, a microchip that NVIDIA has put out, I will copy NVIDIA because they are the best in the field of microchips right now as we speak in the world. So I haven't done it before, but if I want to do it, I compare it with the person who's done it the best. So I could have a template. Now, we want the best leadership structure in Ghana. We have never had it. So we have to look at the template of the person who's done it and how they did it. If you take a look at how the last Singapore leader was picked, they didn't go back to take a look at how many farms he had built and how long he'd been in public service and all of that. They looked at certain criteria that we can look at today based on what the person says and how you can hold the person accountable, and to have a structure that if he's not able to deliver, you can eject him and bring somebody else new in. That's smart because you can really never know. Look at what Trump promised and look at what is going on. Look at what Obama promised and look at what went on. So you can never really go by what a person says, regardless of what they show. We know that. So what we have to have in place is to have something in place. To have something in place where if we elect someone and they are not able to perform, we could take them off and bring somebody in. That's smart. That's prudence. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You see, this formula. Wait, relax. Listen, your formula. I'm telling you, your formula. We've seen it. It's not like we haven't seen it. Everything I'm telling you.
We've never seen it. We have never seen it.
Listen, that you telling
we have
me
never
that
seen it in Ghana.
No, Tuntum, Cyrus, you telling me that for somebody to follow me, I have to be able to show them that I've been able to put together a farm.
No, that is not what I said. That is not what I said. I said you have to come to the point where you are relatable to the people. That is not the same as showing them what you have done.
This is what I'm saying.
You are confusing the two.
No, Cyrus. What is being relatable? And this is.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of being relatable. I can give you an example.
Wait a minute.
I can use one person to give you an example.
Cyrus, don't talk too much. Listen, let me tell you. You see,
Kofi, I can give you an example. I can give you plethora of examples. Let me give you an example.
Listen, I know
you go to South Africa right now. You go to South Africa right now, Kofi, and I'm not cutting you short. You go to South Africa right now. The one reason why Julius Malema has about 44 seats in parliament, the one reason is because the people can relate with Julius. How? How could the people relate? Julius Malema was part of the ANC party. He was the youth wing leader. And then he branches off, he starts his party. The people know him. And then they are like, okay, this is the new ideas he's pushing. And I can give you John Dumelo.
I know, you are right. You are right.
Dumelo is an actor. He's relatable on a certain level. He starts farming. I know, the community gets to know him.
Cyrus, just because he's relatable doesn't mean that somebody cannot do better than him. That's the point that I'm making.
No, you need to get the people's trust. It's not about performance at that point. It's about the youth's trust. It's not about performance at that point. You are confusing two things.
I'm not.
Performance will come when you are given the position, but the trust of the youth to say they know you. That is totally, and that comes before the performance.
What's the alternative? What's the alternative? The point I'm making is a common sense argument that I'm making. That listen, you know somebody who has let you down. You know somebody who you voted them out because of a non-performance. You know that they stole your money and you voted them out. And you brought somebody else in who you thought were going to be honest with you and they did worse. The answer to that is not to go back to the person you know stole your money. That's dumb.
That is common sense, Kofi.
Absolutely.
No. Kofi, what you said is common sense. But that is not what is working in Ghana.
But this is what I'm saying. So if you
and that is my response to you. Kofi, Listen, what you are saying is common sense. You don't go back to the person who has disappointed you and another person disappoints you altogether. But what I'm saying is the fact that somebody disappointed you and the other person also disappointed you doesn't automatically qualify a new person to be trustable.
I absolutely
that is what I'm saying.
Believe that. No, and you agree with
what
you.
I'm saying is,
what I'm saying
yes,
is,
so what I'm saying is
you don't have an option. The option
there is an option.
You could go,
there is an option, and you don't want to hear it. I want to tell you the option.
What is the option?
Good, Michael. Please 1 second. I'll wrap up now, and then Mike, you come in. This is the option I'm proposing, Kofi. You see, Kofi Koranteng and Nana Kwame Bediako. I said this until 2024, Kofi. I really didn't listen to Kofi Koranteng until 2024. And so it's for so many people. What I felt, what I thought I knew about Kofi Koranteng, or what I didn't know about Kofi Koranteng, was similar to so many people, and not just me. So if Kofi Koranteng has to become somebody I can relate with, how is that going to happen? First of all, he must be known, not because you are doing so well, but you must be known on a certain level, whether in an industry, number one, whatever industry Kofi Koranteng will have to get himself involved in an industry, number one, whether in a community, number two, or whether in some form of political whatever. But there are three options here. in some community, whether in some what did I say first? Political grouping or something, Kofi Kranting must find a way to let the people he wants them to vote him in be relatable to him at some level, or else they will always see you very far away and they may like your policies, but there is nothing to relate with you about, and so it will be very difficult for them to say, let me vote for him.
Cyrus, I totally understand you, but this is the scenario that I'm presenting. My background is in engineering, so I'm very pragmatic in my analogy. So let me give you the example and why I'm saying that. Cyrus, our country is in crisis. We know what
I
these
agree
two
with you on
people
that.
have. We know what these two people have done for us in the last 32 years, and we know it's a game that they are playing with us. We know it's a game. Okay, if you haven't grown up to come to that realization, then you are just naive or you're not paying attention. It's a fact. It's a game. They will keep stealing. They will keep and do a dance about the game, and to some they will come and go, and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. So my point is, why do you want to buy into that? And it doesn't even have to be Kofi Granting, but the options they're giving. So let's take it one by one so I can prove a point to you. When you say Kofi Granting, you have to be relatable. You have to do some things and go around and do this. You give me an example. Oh, maybe you need to start a farm. Oh, maybe you need to be around.
Can I
The
give you a good
point that I'm making,
example?
Cyrus, is it's not that I don't believe or I don't accept what you're saying. My point that I'm making is we are in
Kofi
crisis
Kranting,
and we don't have
Kofi
the
Kranting,
time.
Kofi
So it
Kranting.
doesn't even have to be Kofi Granting.
Can I suggest this to you? If I am in your shoes, this is one thing I may even consider doing. I wouldn't mind consider being on the screen in a movie. I'm telling you, I want to be in a movie on the screen, in a comedy movie on the screen. I want to be in a movie, whether with Aka Beneza or whatever his name is, or Little Wayne, that guy. Somehow, some way, I want to be on the screen in a movie, or I want to be in a football game. Something somehow, some way, I have to be in that football game. I have to be in somewhere, maybe construction, something. Something must put Kofi Kranting in a position where they see Kofi
Cyrus,
Kranting
what?
relate
But
with
let me tell you,
people.
Cyrus, what you
Kofi,
don't know
Kofi, I'm
is,
looking at Trump. I'm looking at Trump. I'm looking at the trajectory of Trump. And I see Trump almost in everything. So everywhere you turn, even if you don't like the guy, he's in the movies, he's in the reality shows, he is in whatever, all over the place. So that people get to know what are Kofi Kranting's tendencies. What does he actually, who is
you
he?
see,
You
okay, so
understand?
so okay, so okay, so man, okay, so a couple of things you don't understand about my argument. My argument is first of all, no, Cyrus, listen to me. If you listen thoroughly, you will understand. Number one, I am doing those things. It's not maybe on the scale that you will see me on every skit in the country, but I am doing these things to the best of my ability. But what I want everybody to understand is I am not going to go and put myself in some huge liability just because I want to be popular for the youth. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that would mean going outside of my zone. You see, doing
You
these
have
things.
to.
Listen to me. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have
But
to.
no, I
Kofi,
no,
you
I
have to go
don't have
outside
to.
of your zone. If
Okay.
you
And
don't
you
want to
see,
go outside of your
Looks
zone,
like
then
no, no,
politics
no,
may
no,
not
no.
be for you.
Yeah, but you see, but this is where you don't understand because you see, you don't understand the game that is being played. Cyrus, you don't understand. Let me run it by you again, and I'll stop. Cyrus, what I want to communicate to the youth is, I want the youth to understand and accept that they are going to be bequeathed the worst economy ever, and it's them that are going to suffer more than anybody else in the history of Ghana. Do you accept that? Do you agree with me on that?
The youth don't care about that.
Okay, good. Well, so good. So that's the basis. If the youth don't care, then I guess they're gonna suffer. But the flip side of that I want to make sure to you is, Kofi Granting, I'm not here to want to be a president. I here to want to just help my people out of love. You see what I'm saying? This is not a career gig for me. I relinquished my citizenship to come to just help the people that I love. This is not a desperation mode for me that Kofi Koranteng has to be a president. No, I want to listen. I am sacrificing myself. That youth use me, and if there's something you could get out of me, use me and get something out of it. If you cannot get anything out of it, then I guess it's too bad. You see what I'm saying? I'm not on a
I get
career.
what you're saying. I understand you fully what you're saying, but I would never agree with what you're saying because per what you're saying, you are not willing to go overboard in order for you to become president.
No.
You
It's
just
not
want to
willing to
fit
go.
into
No,
your
no. What I'm saying is, Cyrus, you see, when we did the analysis,
Kofi,
I really
at some
hold on,
point,
one
Kofi, at
second.
some point.
Relax. Let me make this point, and you can. At,
Cyrus.
Cyrus, when we did the analysis, with everything that you're saying, if you need to be here, go here. When the team and I sat down and we did the analysis, I needed in excess of $50 million to come through and be seen everywhere and show up. Oh, na me kwe ye, me kwa na. Oh, yes, Kofi Koranteng aba obe bon swan. Then I give 5,000 so that my name will be heard and everybody will know. We no be bon swan. I go here. I travel around. They set me up for a lot of funerals, a lot of gigs. I'm buying soccer balls. I'm going to soccer programs. So I did a lot of those things. But guess what? Most people did not even hear about it because of the financial commitment involved in that. A lot of people.
Hello, Kofi. Hello, Kofi. Are you still there?
To come together to save the youth, then the plan has to be something other than something that requires money. Because if we play the money game, we will not win. MPP and DC will
Kofi, there
always
is
become.
nothing I said that has to do with money. Kofi, you are not
Well, I'm
listening to
telling
me.
you. I'm telling
What
you,
I
it has
said
to
has
do with money. I am
no,
telling you, it has
Kofi.
to do with money.
Kofi, no, it doesn't. If I am working with Kofi Koranteng, there is nothing I'm talking about that needs so much money. What I'm saying with you is very simple, Kofi. There are so many ways to put yourself in a position where a lot of Ghanaians will get to see you, get to relate with you. And I just mentioned one to you. One is to get on the screen with actors and actresses so Ghanaians can see Kofi Koranteng act for just 10 seconds in a movie. 10 seconds in a movie, that's all. He passed through the movie, and most of these guys who are shooting these movies, they would love to have you on. They would love to have a person like Kofi Koranteng show up in the movie like 5 seconds and say something, and then he goes. That is not money, Kofi. That is not money. I can give you a plethora of them. But
Do you think Cheddar? Cheddar did not do that? You think Cheddar did not
Mr.
do that?
Koranteng.
let me Cheddar, we see him on the we see Cheddar in a different world in Ghana. Cheddar is not relatable. Cheddar is seen as the guy who is successful and living up there with the top 1% of Ghana's the rich people, the top 1%. Most people aspire to be like him, but they cannot relate with him. That is why the people didn't come out to vote for him. If Cheddar will have to do something different, he will have to come way down and now get into some of these things I'm suggesting to you. I'm just suggesting them. Get into some of these things. There is a game going on, and Cheddar is there, and Cheddar is just watching from the side, and people get to see him. It's not a big game. I mean, a regular game, and you are there, and you are just kicking it with the people. Kicking it with the people. There are so many ways you could have put yourself, and you can still do it, which doesn't require so much money from you, Kofi.
Cyrus, I did. Ask the
And
team.
the time was short. And the time was short. But now we have 4 years. The time was short. Now we have 4 years. We can run it back. And this time we do it even more broadly. And we get into every space that we can. So that Kofi Koranteng is not seen as the guy on TV. Oh, but I met him the other day around the corner. This is how it feels like to talk with Kofi. Then people get to associate with you. Kofi.
But Cyrus, the other side of the equation that is even more important is the part that the youth have got to form a block. Because you see, I don't think the youth has a block. And if you don't have a block and you don't have a leadership where one person or a leadership group could say, we are putting all our support behind this one person, then it could be a dispersed energy. And at the end, nobody gets anywhere. And this is what we saw in the 2024 election. So I think, yes, well taken with your point. But on the other side of the equation, I think I think the youth has got to form a block with one leadership so that we could say we have 2 million, we have 3 million, we have 4 million people who are going to decide on the candidate they put their support behind. Do you accept that? You see, if you don't accept that, then boy, this is a game, man. It's not gonna, because listen, it's Kofi Kranting could go and do everything you're
No,
saying,
I don't.
Cyrus. Kofi Kranting could
Kofi, I think we live on two polar sides.
Kofi Kranting can do
Go ahead.
everything you're saying,
Come and call this guy. Tell him I'm doing
Cyrus.
a show.
We doing we
Yeah,
could do I could do
somebody
I
just
could do
calling me in the show. I don't know what he's looking for.
Okay, Cyrus. Okay, Cyrus is up. Cyrus, yeah,
Come and pick
somebody
him.
really wants your
I don't
attention,
know. I don't
Cyrus.
know. Yeah. Wait, hold on. I don't know what this guy's looking for, but
But
so Kofi,
Cyrus,
sorry, sorry.
listen, but no. But Cyrus, what I'm saying is yes, your point is taken, and we're
Tell him I'm
doing
going
it.
live.
We're doing it, Cyrus. We're doing it. We're going to places as best as we can. We're going to places. We're showing up. But there's so many things we get. Listen, you know how many invitations I get every week? I get like 50 invitations every week, right? We get a lot of invitations to go a lot of places. So we're doing it. But what I'm saying is that the youth has got to form a block so that when they all decide they're going to go with one person, it has an impact. A quarter cannot go
I
with
hear you, big
Kofi.
man.
A quarter cannot go with Cheddar. A quarter cannot go with CPP. A quarter, it can't be that, because that is what happened in the 2024 election. We all, if you don't have one voice, it's not going to work. The youth has got to have one
Exactly.
voice. So
Exactly.
that's the point. So I would do my part, but the youth has got to do their part. And this is what I'm saying, that it is more a powerful movement when the youth come out in search of a leader than if the leader were to define themselves and hope that the bunch of youth come and support. It's more powerful the other way around, because you could command what you want as a youth.
Kofi, let me allow Michael Dawson to ask you a. I think he has a question or suggestion.
Sure.
Dawson, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cranton, you
Kofi.
made okay, Mr. Kofi. You made two statements that caught my attention. First of all, during your submission, you made a point that you can't put yourself, or you can't go way beyond or to put yourself in a liability, just you use the word just because you want to be a president. Number one. Number two, you use Trump tactical game of winning election. But one thing I want us to understand, say Trump, let me talk about Trump issue. Trump winning the election, we saw what went into it and who supported him and who is now in the White House, which is Elon Musk. We shouldn't forget that. And we know the number of billion that guy put into the campaign or the election. Number two, Trump played the race card. Number three, Trump also played, I don't want to use the name because we are on air, whether the rainbow colored game, which some Christians voted for him because of the rainbow colored game. So Trump used all these things to come into power, despite he being convicted of 34 counts of felonies. They voted for him. Now, talking about cheddar, Mr. Kofi, if not for Onuya TV, honestly speaking, Kamine, the time I saw you on Onuya TV and the time of election were close. That was when you used to sit with Captain Smart, talk about the economy and everything. It was close. We were even, I think, 2 years or 3 years close to the election. With Cheddar, unless someone, I start to be corrected. Someone wrote, say he's now into farming. But please, you see, when we keep talking about the youth, some of the youth are voting for these parties because number one, aside they be loyal to the parties, this NPP, NDC, is because they need a job. NPP came to power and some NPP came to power and some youth, not all of them, some youth has gotten a job. NDC came to power, some youth got a job by being a political party. I don't know how many, and I'm not asking anybody, but I don't know how many companies or institutions that Cheddar has established. I don't know. I might be wrong because Mitch was say he's now into farming. It's like what Tuntum is trying to say. We are not getting him. When it comes to Cheddar, he has put himself in a position where the people cannot. They only see him, but they can't relate to him. We see him, we can't relate to him. The fact that he has money, he has been successful, or he has acquired whatever he has got, does not guarantee us when he becomes a president, the youth, every youth will get a job to do. Show me the little thing you are doing in your corner. Show me how you are relating to the people before I give you that seat. Tell me how close I can get to you before I give you that seat. You understand? Now, when it comes to Mr. Kranti, let's be fair and frankly speaking. Politics involve money, and just like Mr. Kranti said, it involves money, it involves people. If we are not ready to go way beyond our strength, our capacity, we should forget the seat. Because there are sacrifices that we will make that we are not ready to. If we are not ready to make that sacrifice or do that sacrifices, we will never get close to the seat. Talking about Cheddar, after election, where's Cheddar now? After election, where's Cheddar now? Are we now going to sit down and then the 2 years to election, 1 year to election, he pops out again? Even if he's doing something, the rate at which we see him on social media, on TV, visiting, the kings, the queens, the chiefs, here and there, are we seeing it now? Or is it few years to election, then he pops up again? So I think if we need a third force, or we want to kick MPP, NDC out, we should give the youth enough reason. And that was Tuntun is saying, give us a reason. Because how do we know if we give you the seat, you also not become like them? Everybody has a message. Everybody carry their own message.
But you see, but this is where you don't get it. It's not about somebody giving the youth a reason for the youth to vote for them. It's about, I am talking about empowering the youth for
how
them
do we
to be.
empower the youth?
Listen
So far,
to me.
Mr. Matthew,
Listen to me.
A question, please. Just a question. for you. A question
So,
for
but
you.
this is what I'm saying is, the youth has to be empowered so that they themselves become the leaders that they want.
All right, a question for you, please. Okay. How
Dawson,
do we
this
empower
will be
the
your
youth?
last question, please. This is your
How
last
do we
question.
empower the youth? And how have we been able to empower the youth? Can you please tell number one, how do we empower the youth? How have
Okay,
we been able to empower the youth? Thank you.
but this okay.
Thank
So
you
the
very much,
first thing that I'm
Dawson.
so the first thing I'm saying, Dawson, is the youth would have to come together. They have to have one leadership. If you come together and you say, okay, 1,000 of us come together on Tuntum's network, and we're going to use Cyrus to be our leader for now. Cyrus gets picked as a leader, and then maybe you go to 2,000, 10,000 people, 5,000 people. You come together and you put together a board, a leadership team. You see, maybe it's because Cyrus is a social media influencer, he will get all the other social media influencers to come together to say that right now we are going to form a leadership team and we are going to pick our leader. You see, when you look at
Kofi, that
Kofi,
part, I will never agree with you on that. I don't know why you keep stressing on it. It's not going to work. It's not feasible,
why
Kofi.
do you think why do you think it's not going to work?
There is never going to be a time when the youth themselves will come together and form a block. Somebody must start it. Somebody must say, listen, I have two guys.
So why don't you start? Why don't you start it? Why don't you start it?
I don't have any presidential ambition at this point.
No, but you don't have to be the president.
Hold on.
You could start it. You could form a
What I'm
leadership
saying
team.
is, I can, and I have a platform. So what I'm saying, I can use my platform to say, this is
Good,
what I
do
have.
it.
And the next thing you see me, I may want to do a conference and invite all the people on my platform to say, come, let's sit down and have a conversation.
That's
It is
what
not
I'm
going to
talking
be
about.
my platform followers. It is not going to be my platform followers who would want to come together and then tell me to lead them. No, I will have to take that initiative. That is the point where me and you vary. You are looking at the youth coming together to form a block. I am saying it will never happen. Somebody must rise up and say, I will start something, even if I have only 2 people following me
No,
at
but
that
that's
point.
what I'm saying.
And eventually that thing grows up.
I'm saying that because you have a platform, why don't you start it? You
And I just
start it,
tell-
not that that you want
I
to be
just
the
told-
president. Not that you want to be president, but you just want to formulate the initial formation. So you could come together
That
and
is
say
not my
you could,
interest, Kofi. Kofi, that is not my interest at this point. If that is my interest, you see me do it. I'm a doer. I'm a go-getter. I
what
will
I'm
just
saying
get
is-
into it.
So Tuntun, why don't you put it out there that somebody who has an interest in formulating a leadership team in the youth?
Why are you trying to say this to me when at this point you have run for president and we have to give you all the advice we can?
No. You see, you don't get it.
If I am in your position, I will want to hear people's opinions. But it looks like you are in that position. You rather want the opinions to go to the people. You go try it out and see.
No.
It doesn't work like this, Kofi.
No.
If I want to do
you
it,
don't
if
get
I
it.
want to
You
do
don't get
it,
it.
if no, I get it totally clearly. If I want to do it, I wouldn't need anybody to tell me to go get it. What I'll do is I know I have a platform, so I invite other people to join me. Let's have a discussion. From that discussion, something comes up. I say, okay, let's try to work together on this particular project. And from there, we grow it. And I started this before. So it is not something that we cannot do. But what we are saying to you is, Kofi, there is so much you can do without needing money. And I just gave you like 2 of them. And you don't need money.
Yeah, but Cyrus, we are doing it already. And listen, the impact is what you saw in the 2024 election. Not much. You see what I'm saying? Because listen, all the things that you're saying, when you live in Ghana, as I do, you have to power it with a lot of money. Everybody who follows you to go do something, Cyrus, they want money. Because listen, it's a very tight society where people can't have ends meet. So listen, you have anybody do anything for you, that you need to feed them. It's very expensive. So listen, if you have 10 people follow you to a gig, you have to give them breakfast, you have to give them lunch, and then you have to give them money to go home when you're done. And then they will come and very nicely ask you if you want them to come tomorrow. When they come in tomorrow, you have to pay for all of them to come, and you feed them again. So if I get 7 people to follow me around for 2 weeks, I'm talking about 7,000-8,000 cities. 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying?
Now
So
that is what I do in the studio. When you came to the studio, you saw a couple of guys with me. These are people who are my payroll. I have to pay them. And it's the same thing. If people are coming with you, they are working for you, you have to pay them. And if you are going to be a leader, you should know all these things, and you have to know how to deal with them. You must know that people are going to work with you, and you must find the ways to pay them. This is typical of every leadership. Kofi, it's not just for Kofi Koranteng. Anybody who puts himself in the position of leadership will meet these things. So you have to find a way, figure out a way to deal with these things, and then get over that hump. If you don't get over this hump and this small problem becomes a hindrance to you, then the bigger problems, you cannot deal with them. You cannot deal with them because these are smaller problems. The big fishes are there for you to fry, Kofi. So working with these people, moving with these people, eating with these people, these are the most basic things you are going to do. And nothing is going to change, not for you and not for me.
Well, but you see, but this is what I'm saying, that there is a more strategic, economic way to do this if we have the youth involved, and nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to point a finger to, oh, Kofi Koranteng, you're the candidate, so you should do this, you should do this. And I'm telling you that there is a smarter, better, strategic, effective way to do this, and nobody wants to listen. The youth that we are here to represent have to get involved in this, solving this problem. I did not come in that I want to be a president, so I have to go and find money, $50 million, $100 million to come be a president. That's not what this is about. This is about affecting the youth to be proactive if they will listen. But they don't want to listen. They want to point a finger and say, oh, Kofi, when episode the president, president. And I'm telling them, they'll know.
Kofi,
and yes,
Kofi, the youth are never going to listen because the youth, first of all, most of them don't think they are in the kind of problems they are in, like the way you see them. This is what the youth are looking for. If they can go about their personal business, if they can buy food in the morning, afternoon, and evening and eat, if they can have some money in their pocket, even if it's by playing sports betting, for some youth, that is just enough. It is you who is the leader, who is looking at all these things that youth are going through and saying that is problematic. But the people themselves may not see it as a problem. And that is where the disparity is. There are a lot of things you see as a problem to the youth, which the youth themselves don't see as a problem. And if you don't see the difference, it will be very difficult for you.
Now, we have problem now. And now it's a waste of time. Because if I can't package at the end of the man of grandpa, or no feel he said, me na me what problem. So and no na maybe per se the new realization is a youth who said,
Kofi, are you with me or are you speaking elsewhere?
Oh, can you not hear me? Can you not hear me?
Oh, okay.
I was speaking.
I can hear you.
Can you not hear me? Say, Cyrus, say the first thing about helping someone or solving a problem is say nipa na wo pese wo boa no no. ɔno no mfili sɛ ohia mmoa ɛne ɛna na woyɛ ni na ɛyɛ useless because ɔno no mfili sɛ ohia mmoa sɛ youth no ɛntia ɛno ase a I can't do anything. I can spend my wheels.
Then I guess there is not much you can do, because when Nkrumah came on the scene, I'll give you a clear picture. When Nkrumah came on the scene, the people didn't even know the problem they were in, apart from coming out of colonial rule. The people really didn't understand what was going on. It was Nkrumah who went around, showed himself to the people, introduced himself, and tell them what the problem is, what he can do for them, before the people realize, oh, we actually need this man to lead us. If there is not a point where you want to let the people be aware of their circumstance, most of these people are uneducated. They may not even know that is a problem. When you look from the top and see that Ghana owes so much, they may not care about how much Ghana owes. All they care about is get their data, get their lunch, and be able to have electricity. That's all. Sometimes you have to let them see the bigger picture, and then because of the need, they put you up there.
Cyrus,
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes, boss.
I say,
Yes.
I've come around all the 16 regions. Madam Krasi, Madam Patem, Madam.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. You are not the only. You are not the first to do it. Let's do it again. For the next 4 years, you have to do it again.
See, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it again, but more importantly, as I said, one more year out here, I'm gonna realize it's their time, and they need their own involvement in the process. They can't be bystanders looking on you say, "Oh, Baba, to seek one more sweat feed you one more musica, Obi ba you do baby, Obi say man toko kama no metras in the America. This man toko kama be to meet pie. That's all my metie. So it's sometimes I hope you almost say, if I could now be one on your ready so you can go ahead.
Did you say I can go ahead?
No. I was speaking to someone.
Okay.
On your ready, what me ye be one, and no me patch say, youth now, when enlightened now, ye hear woman. As I said, one more back together and one more castle, one more ready set, one more in the process. So one more didn't change. Because listen, look.
Kofi, on this one, we'll never agree.
Okay, and I'm
on this one, we wouldn't agree.
And I'm saying, and then the people are not ready because Cheddar spent $35 to $50 million. When I make a show.
But I just told you what happened with Cheddar. I just told you why the people didn't see Cheddar, because he's not relatable.
Okay, good. And I mean, so I'm relatable. The most
No, you were not seen. No, you were not seen. You were not known.
And I may say, Cyrus, places a nipa koye.
Kofi, remember, this is the first time. This is the first time people actually became serious with these elections.
I'm not saying.
And first times, you don't expect to win. You may have to go 3 times or 4.
I know that.
All these things must be factored into it. So
yeah, but I'm not. Listen, I don't have the money to be putting myself out 4 times, Cheddar. I mean, Cyrus, are you serious? 4 times in 16 years. Me small boy to say. Wow, we are small boy crying. I say 1% will call. When I say, me support to so person. If you small boy, now on starting out, I mean, because listen, I have a very active lifestyle. I want to be very active as a president. I don't want to be a sluggish old your friend saying president. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring some serious action into the presidency, and I'm not going to do it 16 years from now. I'll be in my 70s. Come on, man, it's not going to work. No,
I got you.
Listen, if Ghana said they were going to hand me the presidency at my 70th birthday, I would decline.
Really?
I would decline.
Really?
I would. Oh yeah. I would not, because people say, yeah, listen, I want to project the youth as the new face of Ghana. Say, woman run the things. I would listen. Make Crown to tell the truth, Cyrus. I hate to say it here, but I wasn't planning on doing 8 years. I was planning on doing 4 and hand over to a younger person. To be honest.
I see.
Yeah. That's the plan, because I want a young.
So meaning that in 2028, if you run again and you don't win, you will not run again, correct?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Okay.
Like I'll be honest with you. Let's see change the game now.
I like your honesty. For that, I can be confident in. I like your honesty and
Like,
you're
I'm not
being
planning.
forthright with us. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I'll be very honest with you. And even 2028 in the cry your dream home because he can't shut any house. But Obi Obeka so be piano, you be buano.
Ah,
Obi Obeka so be
wow.
piano, you be buano. Yeah, yeah,
Let me
yeah.
ask you. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you before you go.
Yeah.
Do you regret running last year?
No, absolutely not. No regrets. I don't pay crew before me beside me. No regrets at all. If I had to do it, I'll do it all over again. Renounce my citizenship. And the kind of headache that I'm dealing with now with this citizenship, I'm renouncing it. You wouldn't even believe it. But I would do it again if I had to. Because I love my people, man. I won't lie to you. That nobody could take. I love my people. I love Ghana, and I want Ghana. I think Ghana is positioned to be the best nation in the world. I wanted to build Ghana like beyond Dubai. That's why I went over. I traveled all over the world, met with all the leaders. So we knew exactly what we were going to do. And it's not difficult to fix Ghana. It's not difficult. It's very, very easy to fix Ghana. But we think, when I listen to programs, I get sad because everybody thinks it's something else. Everybody comes out with a different formula. There's no formula. We just need to change leadership. That's all. If you change leadership, everything changes.
We
You know,
got you.
the
We got
clowning
you.
is
Thank you
too
so
much,
much,
man.
Kofi.
Yeah, so
Thank you so
I'm
much.
listening in the back, and we'll talk
All
soon.
right.
Okay, big man. Thank you.
It's always a privilege to have you come on live, Kofi.
Ano kwamo mienka na awodi nipa pina ekwa tete mu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo wo mo yade se wo mbem wanya basisi a yade bi tise stroke gonorrhea anabama waye mre e wampamu low sperm count wo mo wanu aduro tatahwe ene je sam se sabane sunsumu nsama wo mo tene te se ye sunsumu aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wo betu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo mo kofie ekoye sunsumu nyuma edemom samosini ene enzimani akabom dia sunsumu niema asie betu obi aje wukunu anasa woyere awaresem adwumasem akwantuom nsem ni nyina ayasumasem fabadan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehuyan
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region ehon ma number aye didi dwuma no aye 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 anase 020 134 0421
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. You be do a samamount.